If you had $100,000 to invest today and you could only choose one ETF, would you put it into VTI or would you choose VOO? On the surface, this looks like a simple question. Both track the US market. Both are low cost, both are popular. Both have strong long-term track records. So why do so many investors debate this? Why does this comparison come up again and again? And more importantly, which one actually makes more sense for the long term? Today, I'm breaking this down from the perspective of a real investor. Just practical thinking. Because when you're putting serious money to work, the decision isn't just about performance, it's about behavior, structure, and what helps you stay invested for decades. Let's get into it. When people first hear about VTI and VOO, they usually think they're basically the same. And honestly, they're not wrong. VOO tracks the S&P 500. That means it owns around 500 of the largest US companies. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, all the giants. VTI tracks the entire US stock market. Large companies, mid-sized companies, small companies. Thousands of stocks in one fund. So right away, the main difference is this. VOO equals large companies only. VTI equals large, medium, and small companies. That's it. That's the core difference. Everything else flows from that. Now, when I first started learning about these two, I thought the answer would be obvious. More companies must be better, right? More diversification must mean less risk, right? So naturally, I leaned toward VTI, but over time I realized the choice isn't that simple. Because in practice, VTI and VOO behave very similarly. Why? Because large companies dominate the market. Even though VTI owns thousands of stocks, most of its value is still in big names, the same companies that dominate VOO. So when Apple goes up, both funds go up. When Microsoft drops, both funds drop. When tech rallies, both benefit. That's why when you look at long-term charts, VTI and VOO are often very close. Not identical, but close. And that's where many investors get confused. If they're so similar, why even debate? The answer is in how you think about risk and time. Let's talk about VOO first. VOO is simple. It gives you exposure to the biggest, strongest, most established companies in America. These are companies with massive cash flow, global reach, and long operating histories. They dominate their industries. They have pricing power. They survive recessions. They adapt to change. That's why the S&P 500 has been such a powerful wealth-building tool over decades. When you buy VOO, you're betting on American business leadership. You're saying, I believe the biggest US companies will keep growing over time. And historically, that's been a good bet. VOO is clean, focused, efficient. There's no small cap risk, no tiny struggling companies, no speculative startups, just the strongest players. That makes VOO psychologically easy to hold. When markets get rough, you know you own quality. That matters more than people admit, because most investors don't fail because of math. They fail because they panic. VOO helps reduce that. Now let's talk about VTI. VTI takes a different approach. Instead of focusing only on giants, it says, let's own everything. Big companies, medium companies, small companies, growing companies, struggling companies, the entire market. The idea here is simple. Some of today's small companies will become tomorrow's giants. If you own the whole market, you never miss the next winner. You don't have to guess. You're already invested. This gives VTI exposure to innovation at the ground level. New industries, emerging leaders, future disruptors. Over very long periods, small and mid-sized companies have sometimes outperformed large companies. Not always, not consistently, but in cycles. VTI captures that. So in theory, VTI gives you more growth potential, but also more volatility. Small companies tend to swing more, they struggle more in recessions, they fail more often. So VTI includes more risk and more opportunity. That's the trade-off. Now let's talk about what happens when you put $100,000 into each and leave it alone. In most long-term scenarios, both funds grow impressively. They both benefit from economic growth, corporate profits, innovation, productivity, population. Over 20, 30 years, both can turn six figures into much more. But the journey is different. With VOO, the ride is slightly smoother. With VTI, the ride is slightly bumpier. Sometimes VTI pulls ahead. Sometimes VOO does. There's no permanent winner. That surprises people. They want a clear answer. They want, this one always wins. It doesn't exist. What matters more is how you behave during downturns. Imagine this. Markets crash. Headlines are negative. Your portfolio is down big. If you're in VOO, you're holding giants that you recognize. You've heard of them. You use their products. You see them everywhere. That gives confidence. If you're in VTI, part of your money is in companies you've never heard of. Smaller businesses, riskier names. That can feel uncomfortable. Not because it's bad, because it's unfamiliar. And unfamiliar creates doubt. That doubt is dangerous, because doubt leads to selling. And selling at the wrong time destroys long-term returns. This is why best ETF depends on personality, not just performance. Some people are perfectly fine with volatility. They understand cycles. They stay calm. For them, VTI can be great. Others need simplicity. They want clarity. They want confidence. For them, VOO may work better. Now let's bring this into real-world portfolio building. In my own investing journey, I learned something important. The best ETF is the one you can hold through bad times, not the one that looks best in backtests, not the one that had the highest return last decade, the one you don't abandon. That's the real winner. When I experimented with different strategies, including higher income approaches and more complex setups, what I realized was this. The core of my portfolio needed to be boring. It needed to be stable. It needed to be something I wouldn't touch. Both VTI and VOO can play that role. But how they fit depends on what else you own. If your portfolio already has small cap exposure somewhere else, VOO might make more sense. If your portfolio is very concentrated in big companies, VTI adds balance. It's not about choosing the better ETF. It's about choosing the right tool. Here's another thing most people ignore. Rebalancing matters. If you put $100,000 into VTI or VOO and never touch it, you're relying completely on market forces. That's fine. But over decades, your allocation can drift. Some parts grow faster than others. With VTI, that internal balance adjusts automatically. With VOO, you stay focused on large caps. Neither is wrong. So if you're deciding between VTI and VOO, don't overthink it. Pick the one that fits your mindset, and that's how you turn $100,000 into something much bigger over time. If this breakdown helped you think more clearly about your core portfolio, make sure to subscribe to Money Stick Unfiltered. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.